Well, hello, all my amazingly beautiful Cancer friends. My name is Libra Empress, and we're going to be discussing your tarot for today. Now, remember that this is a general reading, and this is for yours as well as for my entertainment. And also, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. That way, you'll always be up to date with the content that I produce, and you'll be part of our family, alright? Alright, let's get going, shall we? Now, right here before you, my beautiful Cancers, is your past, present, and future, alright? Now, when we get to the future, remember that that is not set in stone, and that can change anytime you want, alright? You can go at it sideways, jump around it. At least you'll know that it might be a possible future. You can even change the outcome if you so choose. It's just like it's like the tiniest things will change the future, if that makes sense. Other than that, I probably sound like a lunatic. Now, that's your past, present, and future. Now, when we get done with that, we'll discuss this fourth pile here. Now, this fourth pile is all the energy between your past, present, and future, okay? Now, the thing with that is that I'm not going to know where these cards go. You, if it resonates with you, will know where it goes, alright, my beautiful Cancers? And then we got the bottom of the deck that's up here. Alright, let's get going, shall we? We'll slide these out of the way. And start with your past energy. Sorry about the sound effects of the dog barking. Alright, so my beautiful Cancers, your past energy is the Four of Swords. You were feeling like you needed to retreat for rest and recovery. You went to battle. It kind of wore you out. You went into a mini hermit mode. There was a lot of chaos, right? You're stressed. Had to go lick your wounds before you can come back. You have to reassess. With that is also the fact that you were juggling a lot of burdens and responsibilities and struggling along the way. Alright? You didn't think that there was a possible outcome, which led you to feel like you were in an Eight of Swords. Alright? Lack of action, victimization, and no-win situation. Now, with this card, it's like on a regular tarot deck, there's like swords in a circle, alright? With a person in the center blindfolded. It just means that you feel like you're trapped in your head, but you're really not trapped, okay? And with that being said, you decided to drop your baggage, okay, and move forward to new journeys, first steps, and hasty choices, which is great. It really is great. I'm so proud of you, my beautiful Cancers. Currently, you have the Strength card. You're dealing with a Leo, by the way. Resolve, conviction, and inner determination. You were not giving up. Oh, hell no, you weren't. Alright? But that doesn't stop the fact that you are currently fighting for your shit. Everybody wants a piece of you, and you just don't have enough to give to everyone. So you're feeling like there's disaster, rotten, ruin, and destruction, right? But this could be just in your mind. It's like a huge betrayal. Now, in a regular tarot deck, it's usually someone laying on the ground with like 10 swords. It's like a deep, deep betrayal. And that's kind of what you're feeling right now. And you're kind of like, hey, can you fucking put my shoe back? I need that for work for tomorrow. Or, I need that kidney. Get your hands out of there. That's mine. Stop it. Give me back my hand. I need my knife. my meat cleaver for work. But because you did the Fool in the past, and you're currently kind of still working through the bullshit right now, you decided that you're going to clear the cobwebs and the chaos from your mind. Because this is all in your mind. It's all driving you fucking nuts, right? So you're traveling. You're leaving the past behind and transitioning. Cancer, you're heading towards calmer water, which ultimately leads you to the sun. Okay, this is success, enlightenment, hope. So you're being rescued. You're not alone, okay? Everything is falling into place. It takes a minute. But that doesn't stop you from possibly in the future feeling the Nine of Swords, paranoid, anxiety, full of hopelessness, right? You're still in that no-win situation. You're viewing the cup as half empty and not realizing that it's half full. But you've got to make a decision. And at the moment you're indecisive. And it's a difficult decision, and you're trying to view everything from different views. if that makes sense. Do I use a shotgun or do I use the chainsaw? Well, this is a zombie apocalypse, so why not use a machete? You know, Jason's got a bunch on hand. And you could use a katana, you just gotta ask Michonne. Oh, only horror fans will know that, those references. Now you're dealing with a Queen of Swords, okay? This is a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Someone who's intelligent, sharp-tongued, and unscrupulous. Now, regardless of her terry cloth bathrobe and her hair curler, she will step down from her throne and beat some people's asses. She is not afraid to lay the law. She is the queen, okay? But you've also got the Queen of Cups. You're dealing with your own sign, right? Are you a queen? This, or you're dealing with another Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, alright? Someone who's intuitive, devoted, and full of emotions. And also a bit of a party girl. Now, let's talk about this fourth deck here. Now, somewhere along the line between past, present, and future, these cards lay. And you will be the only one who knows where they lay, because this is your story or it's not, okay? I'm just kind of putting the puzzle pieces together and telling it the best way I can. Now, my beautiful Cancers, you're causing judgment, or you're calling judgment. You're accepting responsibility for a situation and dealing out the karma, or dealing with the karma. You're pressing the button. You're saying enough is enough. You're dealing with a King of Hazard, someone who's a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. This person is a distant, hard-working businessman, good with his money, but not so great with his words. And we know quite a few of those individuals in life, right? You're dealing with a Nine of Cups. Wishes, dreams, material and physical happiness. I always call her if Laura Ingalls and Princess Leia had a baby, it'd be her. She's ready to go to the beach. Somewhere along the line, you're dealing with a Seven of Swords. Theft, sabotage, and deception. I'm sorry for the glare. Just close your eyes and listen. I promise it'll be easier on your eyes. I do that too. So someone's stealing from you. Someone's trying to sabotage you. There's a lot of deception going around. Even enemy forces outside the window are kind of driving by. They're doing a drive-by bombing. Oh man. I would have said shooting, but I don't know, those are old planes, so maybe they're bringing back the atomic bomb. Now, here's the deal, is you're quarreling, strife, and competition. Now, you're fighting, and they're fighting over something completely stupid, but my beautiful Cancers, you don't think it's stupid, and they don't think it's stupid. But that's your friendship right there. And there it goes crawling away, because it's like, fuck this, I'm out. Did you use the Ace of Swords? Be careful. Because sometimes the Ace of Swords will, it's not here as far as let me look. I feel like it would be here though. It's not? Oh, you're lucky. So you don't have to worry about cutting people off. Alright. It just must be my energy picking that up. That you want to say some shit and tell that person where the bear shits, if that makes sense. It's an old reference. So somewhere along the line, you got the Wheel of Fortune, luck, fate, and destiny. So everything is turning in your favor, which causes you to go into a Six of Wands. This is you're gaining recognition and success and victory. Everything's falling in place. You're like, ooh, caught the bone. Now, but with success, there also is this. This is a Six of Hazards. This person right here is very generous, full of favors and rewards, and that's what he's offering you, a piece of meat for mowing his lawn. This is a strings attached card. I actually hate this card. I mean, you can hate it, like it, whatever, right? I just don't like strings attached. I'll work for what I want, but I don't like the extra interest. You know what I mean? And I don't think you do either. I don't like people who take money and hold things over your head. You're done with the Knight of Swords. Now what's funny about this is when I was shuffling, it popped out twice. First I thought, oh, it's random. I threw it back in, right? But when it came out, when I was doing your fourth pile energy, I knew that that this was something very important. So you're done with a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius, right? Brave, ego, and lack of emotion. So think of it like this. You know, my beautiful Cancers, I repeat this story all the time, but it's the best way I can explain how us Libras, or air signs, come in with thought. But I think you are a water sign, right? Let me see. Yeah, you're a water sign. So imagine you're what you are, a big body of ocean, right? Beautiful, swaying, magical creatures underneath the surface, right? Suddenly, clouds come up and cover the sky. And a wind blows through, and it's rocking you. It's rocking you. First it starts off slow, and then it gets heavier and heavier, and rain starts to patter, and electricity filters throughout the air, from the sky to the water, from the water to the sky, right? It's just really fucking, it's terrifying, but you're water, so it doesn't hurt you any. It's like an extra pep in your step, right? And then suddenly, as fast as it came, the storm leaves. Are you the same body of water you were before that storm came in? No, because it brought fresh perspective. That was the lightening and the changing of and adding water that was taken when the sun evaporated it from your watery layers. I almost said what I would say surface. Anyway, but here's the thing: is that's how us air signs come in. We come in spouting facts. We don't care about who we hurt. Well, we do care, but sometimes we're an asshole, okay? That's just how it is. And we're able to, like as a Libra, I'm able to take away emotion and think logically, okay? Which isn't always the best, but at the same time it is. But I can bring you fresh perspective, and it'll change your whole view, and you won't be the same. Just like at the beginning of this reading, Cancer, you were a completely different person than you were during this reading, and you'll be a completely different person after this reading, okay? It's all about what I tell you and what you absorb, whether it resonates or it doesn't resonate. If it makes sense, it might change your perspective, but it's not for the worse. I mean, I'm not brainwashing you, I'm just showing you that this is like coming in like with a hurricane, right? It's gonna shock you, but the realization of what is being said, if you take out the emotions and you realize that it's not, the words are not to be an asshole, but more like to be considered as positive what is it called? Positive criticism or some shit. It's like if you're mopping a floor and you miss a spot, and I go, you know what, you're really good at that, but over here you kind of missed a spot, and you go, oh, okay, I'll go grab it, right? But I could have come in with negative and been like, oh my god, you're lazy, I can't believe you missed this spot, what the fuck is wrong with you today? And then you could be like, wow, I quit, screw this shit, right? It's all about thinking about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it to who you're going to say it to. That's why I thought that I had an Ace of Swords in here, because I feel like really strongly that you are considering an Ace of Swords, which is, you're going to tell someone off. But you're trying to keep your peace, if that makes sense. So there's no Ace of Swords in here, but I feel like it could be in your next reading if you wanted it to be. Which is, if you get that card, it's more like, if you were to get that card, it'd be like, you gotta think about what you're gonna say and how you're gonna say it to who you're gonna say it to, right? But if you cut that person out, what if you need them in the future? Treating them like shit now, but then when you come crawling back to them and you beg, they're gonna be like, well, no, I'm not gonna help you because you treated me like shit, so you burn your bridges with me. I can't do that bullshit and drama. Do you see what I'm saying, my beautiful Cancers? I'm actually quite surprised you don't have that card. Now, you're dealing with a page of hazards, right? Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Now, this shows that you're very responsible, determined, and you're thinking about new beginnings, right? But also, this page of hazards, who's any of those signs, is coming in with a stock tip, something to help you out. So, say you need, say you're homeless, right? And, you've got a job, you got enough for a deposit for a place, you got an application in, but you don't have enough for the rent. So what you could go do is you can research your local community action, if you're in Utah, Idaho, or I don't know where else the Mormon Church would be, but if you're a member, or if you're becoming a member, they help with rent as well, as long as you go to church and you that you go to church and do other stuff that's appropriate, not inappropriate. I came off sounding like a weird Herbert the Pervert there. But even if you don't have a Mormon church, which is like LDS, there's programs through the Catholic Church and Christian churches. Just even I think you can get help with like if you're Jewish as well, or Buddhist. It all depends. You'd have to research that shit. But if you did need rent help, you can go to your local community action. Like where I'm at, it'd be Salt Lake Community Action. If you were up north in Logan, it'd be it would be Bragg, Bear River, Associated Governments or whatever. You just put in an application and you tell them why you need the help, and then they help you. After doing an interview, taking in your initial paperwork, like your pay stubs, and seeing how many people are in the house, and you know what I mean? It's just like going to housing. You gotta jump through hoops in order to get help, but sometimes it's to benefit you, not to hold you back. So you're getting a local stock tip. Look at that, I just gave you one. Even Salvation Army will help you too. Alright, Cancers, you're dealing with a loss, a sadness and grief as well. And it wasn't like a really bad loss. Like, I don't see the death card here. Because if I saw the death card and this, then I'd assume that someone passed away. But that doesn't mean that someone isn't on the way to passing away. Because this is the Five of Cups, right? You can be mourning the loss of a situation. Like, say, someone abandoned you, right? And your children. Or maybe even, someone's watching you. I didn't see a soft stalker or a toxic sign for a devil or whatever, so it's not like bad or anything. That could be someone, a loved one who's deceased, watching you. Now all these people, you're surrounded by people. Yes, you are, Cancer. And they all know what you're going through, but they don't understand. Like, they understand, but they don't understand. You know what I mean? Because we're all each on our own path. And you're just trying to keep your shit together. Okay? Be it if someone left or passed away or is on the way to passing away, or you got a shit ton, you got Nine of Swords over here, and so you're kind of like, you're either, hold on, you're either grieving the loss of a friendship or loss of a loved one. Or a family member, you're having issues with a family member really bad. Like someone, I think the Ten of Swords would be that they're getting pretty fucking physical with you, actually. Knight of Swords. Seven of Swords. Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of bullshit, but that doesn't hold you back from having a lot of love in your heart, or getting your victory. Knight of Hazard. See, you're working, right? Or you're dealing with a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. But here's the thing, is that you're very ambitious, material possessions, and you're an entrepreneur, so you're starting from scratch. And you're getting paid really good, or you're going to be getting paid really good, right? And you're getting everything you want, but out of this situation that you're in, are you really getting what you need? I mean, you just have the Five of Cups, and I don't know if that's past, present, or future, but it is really hitting you hard. So be leery. You're done with the justice system, or a Libra, right? You're very impartial. You're dealing with fairness and equality. You're trying to juggle between, should I think logically with my brain, or should I think with my heart? Well, why can't you do both? You're in a really bad situation. Someone's holding something over your head. Are you being blackmailed? If you don't do this, I won't help you. Someone's dying. You're having a really fucking tough time. You could even be going to court. Well, you are calling judgment too, so there's that. There's the Four of Hazards. You're being selfish. You're hoarding your shit and being possessive. Being possessive of your spouse? I didn't see any cards with spouse. I mean, you could be dealing with a significant other. Huh. Alright, so... Alright, here's what's gonna happen. Somewhere along the line you are a Seven of Wands, right? Your challenge is competition and persistence, but the thing is you need to tell yourself, Cancer, is that you're not competing against anyone but yourself. And what that means is that you set goals and you accomplish them, okay? You're on your own life path, and people like to compete with you, right? But there's no need for you to compete with them, because they're just, some of them are jealous, and they don't understand where you're coming from or what you're doing or how you're going about your life. But they want what's yours because you pull it off so good. But you're saying, nope, this is my piece of meat, back your shit down, I'm not fucking doing this, not no more, no, no, no. The Moon card, right? You're dealing with the Pisces, deception, secrets, and intuition. Well, you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, but you need to go to sleep. Now, Cancers, when you go to sleep, pay attention to your dreams. When you wake up, write them down. Alright? Now, I'm not joking. Write them down and then Google them. Now, sorry, my cat jumped up by me. She kind of scared me. She's a heavy little shit. So here's the deal. On my channel, I have a section, a playlist actually, of dream meanings. Okay? I got all those from astrology.com's dream dictionary. I decided to pull them from there, and I even reference it from there as well. But I pulled them from there so that it'd make it easier for you to access the content. Now, every day I release a dream meaning video, right? I only take credit for recording the video and myself reading it, and me being in it, and maybe the picture. But the words are actually astrology.com's. Okay? But if what you're looking for that's in your dream isn't coming up yet, or isn't in my playlist at all, go to astrology.com, or just Google it. I mean, I had a crazy ass dream last week about trying to take a picture of the moon because it was big in my dream, and then it kept hiding and going smaller. And then when I finally got a picture of it, I realized that there was a sun on each side, and the clouds around it and in front of it were fucking grizzly red. And then after I took the photo, for some reason I said that the planet was aligning or something, and like when all the planets align. Yeah, I think it was like the 4th of July that happened, but this dream was way after. But then the earth started to shake, and pieces of the earth started to lift up, and I was like hopping off and following this Asian guy. And then suddenly I was dreaming about grabbing cats and putting them in a plastic bag on my wrist so I could carry them all and rescue them, which is weird. But, I mean, they weren't dying or anything. I just didn't. I have short arms and not enough arm room to hold everything and run. So, yeah. See how crazy that shit is? But you need to go within and to your intuition and unlock the secrets and realize the deception. Your ancestors, ghosts, or your angels are trying to tell you something. So pay attention, alright? Now you're done with the Knight of Cups. This is a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This would be your card sometimes, right? Romantic, adventure, or moody. But then you could be also dealing with another Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, right? Now in a normal deck, this most tarot readers look at this card as, oh, Mr. Romantic, but he's walking really fucking slow. Well, right now he's just kind of surfing really slow. Now I think of him as the player card, and that's because in his story in my tarot book, it talks about him, with the shift of his mood taking your heart and skipping out. And it's like, really? Really? But that's because he's a knight. He's not yet a full king. We all go through the levels until we get to Empress and Emperor, and so that's just one of them. So you're also dealing with my favorite card. This is the last one of the past, present, future clarifier deck. This is the Ace of Hazards. This is possibilities, financial rewards, and new beginnings. You're getting a high five from the undead. And it also talks about, in the story, about world domination, which leads me, every time I think of world domination, thinking about Pinky and Brain from WB/CW when it changed over its name. So, yeah, I always start thinking the Pinky and the Brain theme song. Yes, I'm that old and weird, but yes, you're getting a high five, everything's falling into place, right? Not to mention the bottom of the deck, which is the Nine of Wands. This is completion of tasks, willpower, and persistence. So you're not giving up, which is funny because you're waiting for reinforcements, you're making decisions, and there's an ending of one situation, the beginning of new. You're dealing with a King of Swords. You know, you're building something from the ground up, but you're bored. And then there was that tower, but that's not necessarily a bad tower because it leads to your 10 of Hazards. Sometimes shit needs to get shooken up in order to make sense. Sometimes it's like Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day. So they had a lot of fuck-ups, just like in Egypt and England or wherever else, you know. Even America, we have, the United States of America, we have, we all make mistakes and we're all growing. Human-wise, what else-wise? Structural-wise. It's like, okay, so this is my favorite thing, okay? So, when I was a substitute teacher, and I didn't swear like this, like a sailor, okay, mind you, because I was respectful to the students and I expected them to be respectful to me. But when I was a substitute teacher, I'd ask them a question because I love learning things. I'd say, which came first, buildings or plumbing? And they were like, plumbing. And I was like, no. Did you know that in was it in Chicago, I think it was, when they had rediscovered plumbing and they were putting it in to the old buildings, what they do is they use train jacks, right? And they put like a couple hundred or 1,000, depending on how big the building was, and they would lift that shit up off the ground. There's photos of it online, which I love that. It's so cool. You know, of businesses and hotels, you know, being lifted up and plumbing being put in while they're off the ground, and people are still going in and out of it. Like, it's still, like, it didn't shut down for that construction or anything. They were savage back in the day when they didn't whine about having to shut their building down. They didn't, if people died, they died. They fell off the walk towards the building or away from the building, then they fell. It just was like, what was it, Darwin's theory? survival of the fittest or something, but in that case it was survival of the smartest. Well, and then also what's really cool is that there's actually pictures back in the olden days where they're lifting buildings and carrying them blocks away from where they were once at, down a busy ass Chicago street with horses and people walking. There was a lot of people walking. Like, I just thought that's so fucking cool. Like, they were able to move the building. I didn't know they could move buildings until like 10 years ago when I googled that shit. Oh man, I love knowledge. It's so cool. It just makes us realize how amazing and underappreciated the human race is, because we've come so far, but yet we don't appreciate the fact that we've come so far. Sometimes we dwell on the past instead of realizing that the future is a much better place if we make it that way. And so far, you have you're having a really good reading. You're getting help, getting justice, going through some shit, but you're gonna cause judgment. You're gonna realize that you're gonna be happier without the drama and the bullshit and the anxiety being stuck in your head. That shit's not gonna last forever. You're moving away with the Six of Swords, so you're decluttering the chaos after that fight. You're realizing that your time is so much more valuable spent on what you want to spend it on, not what others think you should react to what they say, because you're absolutely amazing. Now, I love you. Thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Libra Empress. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share, and join me again for next time's tarot, alright? Love you. Bye, my beautiful Cancers.